So I got pay it forwarded the other day at McDonald's. I'm assuming you're familiar with what this means.
Yes.
Okay. For anybody who doesn't know, this is basically you pull up to a drive-through or you are at, wherever it is, in the grocery store and waiting in line, and you get up to pay for your stuff, and the person in front of you, the cashier says, the person in front of you paid for your food.
Okay.
And usually the next question is, do you want to pay for the person behind you? And in this case, it was like, well, the last three people have paid for the person behind them. Which, this was a cute concept. I'm stopping at McDonald's just to get some breakfast. I'm getting like $6 worth of breakfast, right? I'm kind of in a hurry. I don't want to deal with this kind of stuff. So this was a cute concept, 25 years ago when there was when there were burgers were $1.25 and there was a cute movie out with the kid that sees dead people and Kevin Spacey. But I think we can agree that times have changed a bit.
Yeah, with the Kevin Spacey especially.
Yeah, so the woman asked me, so do you want to pay for the person behind you? And I'm like, well, this could mean anything, because so my first thought is, well, what's the total? How much is it? It was like $19.
No.
I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Thanks. And I don't know if it was the way that I said it that kind of came off perhaps a little dickish, but I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I got the okay, have a blessed day.
Oh.
I'm still not sure what to make of
Okay, so let's go through the levels of shunning that you got.
Right.
The drive-through person shunned you.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
And our viewers are going to shun you because you didn't participate in this. It's like going to a wedding and not doing the chicken dance.
But are we still doing this? That's my thing.
No.
This is not.
Let me tell you what you did wrong. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
You did absolutely nothing wrong. And
All right.
I would have done the exact same thing. In fact, here's a funny one for you. We pull into Starbucks, and our friend Matt is a certified Starbucks fiend. Like, that guy is there a couple times a day, every day.
This is our fantasy football. Matt.
Matt. Okay. And we wave, and we're kind of laughing, like, what are you doing? And blah, blah, blah. Well, we get up there to pay, and Matt has paid for all of our Starbucks.
Oh.
And the person in the drive-thru was like, that person paid for you. And we're like, first of all, we sent Matt a text which said, F you, Matt. And
yeah, because now you just look you're not the person who's refusing.
And
to
they
pay
were
for
like,
it.
well, they paid for you. Are you going to pay for the person behind? We're like, no. This is not a cute concept. Maybe it was for a moment in time, but I'm with you 100%.
Shit's expensive now, man.
Do you want to pay for the person behind you? No. Here's when to pay it forward. And I'm going to be serious for just a moment. When you see someone in front of you at the grocery store and they're taking things off of their conveyor belt,
yes,
that is when to pay it forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would do that. If somebody's taking stuff off, I'd be like, let's put that in my stack here. I'll get that for you. Yeah,
exactly.
That's okay.
That is the time in which to do it.
That's the actual meaning of
it.
Not
that is the real pay it forward.
Yeah, it's not start this chain reaction Ponzi scheme where everybody just
chain reaction.
It's absurd.
I think I'm going to go straight to Facebook now and be like, pay it forward as a chain reaction Ponzi scheme.
Yes. Created by Kevin Spacey. We are just two middle-aged refugees from Generation X.
Man, we grew up in a time that was a lot simpler than it is today.
Could we gamble on sports back then?
No, not really. We did, but not legally. But now?
Now we can, and we can talk about it on a podcast, and we can talk about a lot of other things too.
And we're going to. I'm Lanny.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is Bet Small,
Lose Small. All right. It is... week 9 is over. It's another week of us thinking that we have things figured out, and we had nothing figured out at all.
We had some things figured out,
yeah.
But I thought we made some pretty solid bets, and then the Colts choked away their game versus the Steelers. The Broncos barely showed up against the Texans, but won.
Detroit. What is going on with these teams? What is going on with every week? There's another team or group of teams that we thought were good. They just don't show up. I don't understand This is the weirdest. This is one of the weirdest weeks to figure out.
J.J. McCarthy came back and led the Vikings to a win in Detroit. Tell me that you saw that one coming.
No, I did not see that one coming. I didn't see it coming to the point where I didn't even watch that game. I was like, that's we don't have to worry about that one today. That's gonna be fine. Let's go. Here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's go through our picks.
Let's do it.
And figure out, and for each one, we can kind of go through what went wrong in each one.
Because I want to die a little bit.
Right. Because we both had these situations where we just had a parlay fall apart. I mean, it was so bad that by about 3:30 Sunday afternoon, you were texting me, you were like, I think we should just cancel the contest.
I did say that.
I was like, you can't. First
of all, I think I hit one parlay out of 5. I only had really 10 games picked.
Yeah, I mean, well, only 10 games. I mean, yeah, there were 12 games this week.
What we should have trusted more was the Ravens on Thursday night at the Dolphins.
Yeah, but see, I don't like picking those Thursday night games.
I know you don't.
Especially with the weirdness around Lamar. We still don't have, he just came back this week and nobody had any questions about it.
4 touchdowns.
He was fine. Yeah.
But the Panthers going to Green Bay and winning in Green Bay who could have chosen that?
I've had it. I've had enough of the Packers. I'm done with them. What the hell is going on with that team?
I don't know. They're Jekyll and Hyde, but go through the picks
okay,
real
let's
quick.
start. Okay, so we'll start with this one. I guess, I mean, the bet didn't hit, but I had New England minus 5.5, and then I had the Denver Houston under 39.5. New England just won. They won by 1 over Atlanta. That was a weird game.
Garbage time too, because the Patriots controlled for virtually most of it.
Yeah, they never looked totally comfortable, but Drake May got sacked like 6 times or something like that. It was just a strange game. Penix came back and played, but it was just a weird one. And so they won, but they didn't cover the 5.5. So I lost that one. The Denver Houston one, we talked about this last week. It's 2 of the 3 best defenses in the league.
Yeah.
So of course it was going to be. I mean, it turned out that it was 18-15.
Yeah, 33 points.
We kind of hit that one on the head. You had Indy and Buffalo money line parlay, and the Colts. What happened to the Colts?
They got Mike Tomlin a little bit.
Yeah.
Mike, I know you're not as big a fan of his as some are. But I mean, the Steelers are at home, and Mike Tomlin's just a tough coach.
Did you know that there's a fine line between drinking wine and squeezing and crushing grapes?
Yeah, that was yes. Apparently,
I guess I don't know how fine that line is, but according to Mike Tomlin, it is. It was Mike Tomlin, but it's another thing we got to pay attention to now going forward with the Indy. That was a tough game on the road. Daniel Jones had multiple turnovers. He still threw for the yards. He still threw for the touchdowns. He was sacked a bunch. He fumbled a few times. He threw a couple picks. He did not look good.
Indy had 6 turnovers.
They had 6 turnovers.
You're never going to win a game.
No.
Here's the good thing for them. They had 6 turnovers, and they still came within a touchdown of beating Pittsburgh on the road.
This is true. That's you can give that to them at least.
And they just made a trade this week. I believe they got Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, they traded for Sauce Gardner.
So they're going to be good. I think the Colts are, if not a lock, I'm going to say a very. Are they a Super Bowl team? I don't know, but I think they could get to the Super Bowl.
Well, they're 7-2. Jacksonville is a game and a half behind them at 5-3.
Right.
probably not going to be able to catch. I mean, I don't see any way that Jacksonville is going to catch Indianapolis.
They have a bad schedule, but I don't know that Jacksonville is actually good.
No, I don't think Jacksonvile is too. Houston, I'll tell you the thing we missed on last week. If I'd known that this was the case or realized that it was the case, that Davis Mills has been starting for Houston. He of the longest neck in the NFL.
Okay.
He of course looked terrible, although, not much worse than C.J. Stroud.
Everybody's going to look bad against Denver.
Yeah.
But anyway, go through the
Okay, so
next picks.
Your next pick, well, let's see. I had the Chargers, Colts, and Detroit money line. We've already covered Indy, but Detroit, I don't know if I would call this a concerning loss because it's one of those that, like, yeah.
They should win all of their home games, or most every one of their home games.
Yeah, they probably should. But there's just times when they just don't fire on all cylinders. And if Goff is pressured, if Goff faces a lot of pressure, sometimes that gives him a lot of trouble. And that was kind of what happened in that game. So I don't know, big division game too.
Huge.
I can't fault them too much. They're basically a half game behind Green Bay. Green Bay is 5-2-1. Detroit is 5-3. The Bears are 5-3. Just a half.
Do we have to talk about the Bears? I guess we do.
I mean,
we called that one on the over.
Yeah, we did. Well, let's see. Let me skip ahead here because another one that I missed was Giants plus 128, Pittsburgh +3 at -105, and the Bengals at plus 130. Now, you and I both had significantly different fan experiences this week, I would say. Have
there been 2 weeks in a row as a Bengals fan that were more gut-wrenching than the last 2 weeks?
Didn't you have but you were 1-7 in one score games last year. This shouldn't be new territory. I mean, the way that the last how many minutes? You're up 18.
Up 14 against the Jets with 8 minutes to go. Down 14 with 4 minutes, less than 4, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bengals recovered an onside kick, which is almost impossible.
It was unbelievable how the last
sequence
of events
few minutes of that game were Bengals fans thought we had won the game when there was less than a minute to go, and then lose by a touchdown.
I knew that was not. I had a feeling that there was too much time left on the clock when they scored that go-ahead touchdown. It was too much.
But what do you do?
There's that screenshot of that last play that the Bears tight end scored that touchdown on, where there's a dude in his back. He's caught the ball. The dude is in his back, and there are 3 other Bengals defenders around him. And it's like this guy scored a touchdown in this play, and where they were, where he caught the ball was
a 52 or 3 yarder, which is well within the capabilities of most NFL kickers, but it's not a certainty.
No, not at all. And it's still, even then, it still left 18 seconds on the clock, and I was like, so you're saying there's a chance.
Right. Well,
but there wasn't because Joe Flacco, who, by the way, had the best game of his career statistically, throwing with an arm that was practically duct taped to his body. He just couldn't heave the ball down for a Hail Mary try.
It wouldn't even have mattered. I mean, Flacco is playing with the best receiving core he's ever had. I mean,
well, yeah, that's true.
So, and it's not like he's incapable.
Right.
And the issue that Flacco has always had was he was a little bit immobile, but I mean, the moves he makes to slide out of the way and make really good throws he's looked good. I'm not saying he's Joe Burrow, but
he doesn't, he's experienced enough at this point that he's always looking downfield. He knows that he's got to look downfield or they don't have a chance because a defense cannot stop anyone.
No, it's a catastrophe.
And of course, what you do if you're Cincinnati and you can't stop anyone is you should always immediately trade your best linebacker away.
He actually, I don't know if he was their best linebacker or not, but he wasn't playing all that much.
Oh, he wasn't? Okay.
No, but like for a 7th round pick, I mean, what kind of signal are you sending?
I don't understand.
When Joe Burrow is healthy, and I'm going to take a minute to talk about this. When Joe Burrow is healthy, if the Cincinnati Bengals are dumb enough to let him see the field, they will have reaped what they've sown. And there is no way in my mind a 4-11 Bengals team or a 5-10 Bengals team, whenever he comes back, should ever let Joe Burrow get anywhere near the field. They should put him in bubble wrap and move on with their lives. Somebody described him in a video I sent you the other day. They described him like the McFlurry machine at McDonald's. When he's working, he is fantastic, but he's broken a lot.
Oh man! Well, they've got their bye week this week, so you get a reprieve from the abject despair of watching the Bengals.
Gut-wrenching losses. Anyway, I had them in a pick.
Well, and this is the thing. Well, you did. You had them. Let's see. You had. No, you did. You didn't have them.
I wasn't dumb enough to get money on Cincinnati.
You were not.
In our picks, I did in real life.
You did in real life. Okay. Well, I had them in my picks, and I mean, I just thought that at home, that Bears, the Bears, they're Jekyll and Hyde too, except their Jekyll is quite a bit closer to their Hyde than.
I think the Bears are fun to watch. I don't know how good they are, but they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they're fun. They're frustrating to watch. But here's the thing with the Bengals. Next few, so we got the bye. After that, they're at Pittsburgh, home for New England, at Baltimore, at Buffalo. I mean, there's not a single one of those games.
0-4.
There's not a single one of those games I would want to see Joe Burrow come back for in the first place. And I don't think, and they're 3-6. They could be 3-10 by that point. And you can't. There's no good reason to put. I know that they want players want to play when they're healthy. Just get all the way healthy, Joe.
Yes, don't come back. Don't put him out there.
Let Flacco have his swan song here with his arm hanging off his body.
Playing, yes.
Yeah. So you also had. Let's see. You did hit. You hit Patriots and Chargers money line. That was a minus 138. You won some money on that. That was a good pick. New England, of course. Chargers looked pretty good.
I think I trust the Chargers. 27-20 on the road.
Yeah.
At the Titans.
Yeah. You had the Giants and the Rams.
Not trusting the 49ers even at the Giants. I still don't know how you trust the 49ers, but I guess we're going to have to start.
But see, I tried to trust the Giants. I tried to pick the Giants too against what I thought was an untrustworthy 49ers team because they still have Mac Jones playing. They haven't had the Christian McCaffrey injury yet. They're down all these guys on defense. Maybe it's not coming. I don't know. They just seem to find ways. This is still I still would consider Shanahan maybe Coach of the Year candidate for what he's doing here.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable how these. I mean, they got beat the week before and just looked flat. And then they go on the road, play a 1:00 game on the East Coast. And there was no, maybe the Giants, maybe Scattaboo was a little bit more important to that Giants' newfound swagger than we realized. But the Giants couldn't get anything going against a defense that's very depleted.
Another week where somebody's got a bone pointing the wrong way.
Yeah. Oh, man. I know it. That was in the Washington. Wait a minute.
Scattaboo, too.
Scattaboo. Scattaboo. Can we get any clarity on that from anybody?
I don't think so. I'm going with the Collinsworth pronunciation. It was Scattaboo.
Scattaboo. He says Pash Rush.
Yeah, Collinsworth lives in Kentucky, so we have to claim him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, longtime Bengals receiver. He's one of the greats, isn't he? When it comes down to the
Bengals or
for the Bengals,
I think he's one of the great players turned broadcasters.
Okay.
I would
Fair enough.
I would give you that.
Well, in the history of like Bengals receivers,
He's
not quite Ocho Cinco.
He's in the top 10, but maybe not in the top. He's in the top 20, maybe not in the top 5. He's definitely not in the top 5.
Okay.
I mean,
seems like a low bar to clear, but maybe two of those top 5 receivers are currently playing for the
AJ
team.
Green,
AJ Green,
Chad Johnson, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins.
I can't think of any who was around in the Boomer in the Super Bowl era.
Eddie Brown.
Okay, well,
but he wouldn't be like.
Was Collinsworth on the team with Ken Anderson?
First Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, see, Bengals receiver that it gets pretty bleak after the top 5.
Collinsworth was a slot receiver more than anything else.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Bengals receivers. That's if you haven't turned off the podcast by now.
Did you ever turn it on?
Then you're true. Right. I had some individual picks. I did hit on Buffalo at plus 108. I did hit at the Rams. I had an alternate line of a minus 9.5 at minus 210. Those both hit. Of course, I think the Rams even covered the full spread, which was 13.5.
That is crazy. 34-10, yeah.
Buffalo did exactly what we thought they would do, which is play well at home against the Chiefs. The way that the Chiefs were beaten is, I think, more notable in that game than the fact that the Bills ran the ball all over them.
I've seen people breaking down how the Bills do it, and basically they never blitz. They don't blitz very often, and they make sure that when Patrick Mahomes gets out of the pocket, they knock his head off.
Well, they were very disciplined in keeping him in the pocket.
Yes,
that was the big thing.
That helps.
And Bosa, you had Joey Bosa has been tremendous for this team this year. They're using him exactly the right way. They're putting him in situations where he's just basically has to play contain and get to the quarterback when he can. They did a really good job of not letting Mahomes get outside of the pocket to make those,
where he is very dangerous and still very capable. Right. I don't know if the Chiefs are good. I'm assuming that they are good. I just think the Bills are a little bit better.
The big thing
at home.
The big thing in that game was that it was also that they got Maxwell Hairston back, who's the rookie from Kentucky they drafted this year, who ran like a 4.24 40 at the
my goodness,
or a 4.28 or something crazy like that at the combine. That was his thing, is being a fast corner. And if you look at the numbers from that game, the Chiefs weren't able to get anything going downhill or going down the field. Hairston had a pick on a long pass, which was more or less an arm punt by Mahomes, but he covered up Marquise Brown all day. He covered up who's their other fast Xavier Worthy. He covered him up. Like they basically put Maxwell Hairston out there and said, whoever the fastest receiver is on that field, you just run with him all day. And that's what he did, and they couldn't get anything going downfield. So I stand by my stance that this was the game that will make everybody talk differently about the AFC and the Chiefs and Bills, and it ultimately will not matter when the playoffs come around.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Did we get through... Let's see. You had Detroit, Seattle. Did we talk about that yet? Seattle absolutely
decimated,
absolutely
Washington.
Housed Washington, and sort of tried to take Jaden Daniels' arm clean off of his body.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a minute.
Okay.
There is a stupidity level that every fan, us included, is aware of when we're watching these games that are out of hand, and you still see Jaden Daniels in the game getting his elbow dislocated. And you're like, why is Jaden Daniels in a game where you're down 21 with 7 minutes to go?
Couldn't believe it.
It's absolutely asinine, and the coach did, to his credit, did take responsibility for it. But you can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing this, NFL. You only get 48 guys. You only get 48 guys on your active roster. There's a 53-man roster, but you only dress 48.
Right.
I think it's criminal. I think you should have like 56 guys that dress for the game. I think you should take the puncher, the long snapper, the kicker, and the third quarterback out of the equation before counting them. At least do that.
They just get to be. Those are just free guys that you can have.
Yeah, those are just free guys.
Okay,
that makes sense. At least have 48 plus those 4.
Yeah.
The way they do it though is like it's ridiculous the way they have the roster set up. That being said,
it doesn't.
Washington's season's over.
Yeah, it doesn't, and even look, you can make the roster 115 guys, and it doesn't account for the fact that you've got your franchise second-year quarterback still running out plays in a 38-7 game that is over. That was over from the end of the first half.
It was 31-7 at half.
Yeah,
it ended up 38-14.
Yeah. Sam Darnold.
He is getting MVP buzz. I think he deserves that buzz. I don't trust it.
I'm telling you, Sam Darnold is coming. He's coming for all of us.
The Seahawks are 6-2 and 4-0 on the road.
Yeah, he's when I say that he's coming for all of us, I don't mean in a good way. I mean the real Sam Darnold he's going to appear.
We're almost halfway through the season. We're
exactly halfway through the season.
Okay. No, well, there is no exactly halfway through the season.
Well, there's 9 weeks.
When you get to the 4 o'clock, when you get to 3:45 this past week, you're exactly halfway through the season, because then you're halfway through that week of games that makes up the odd number of games.
Okay.
Which was idiotic to begin with.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, we're 9 weeks through an 18-week season, I guess is the way I was looking at it.
Okay, that's fair.
But, doesn't change the fact that you're still underwater by quite a bit in the contest.
How many?
295.82.
Pesos. These are not dollars.
Not dollars.
Jesus
and I am
Christ.
40.25 in the black, which, considering we're 9 weeks into this motherfucker, is not a great number to be up. So.
All right. So very quickly.
Were there any games we missed? We actually covered a lot of those games.
I don't want to cover all the games. I just want to ask you, we're at the meat of this schedule, right?
Yeah.
We're deep into this.
Yeah.
Who is in your cone of trust?
Ooh.
And we're not trying to look for value here. We're just trying to say, who do we know exactly who they are? They are who we thought they were, and we are not going to let them get away.
We are almost at the point where after this past week, I'm not sure that there's anyone that can fully be trusted. I saw a couple interesting things. We talked about the power rankings a couple weeks ago. Because the power rankings are fucking hilarious. The power rankings are the most ridiculous, the most ridiculous crap that any of these websites does. The ESPN had the Bills this week as the number 1 team in the power rankings.
Okay.
The Ringer had the Rams as the number 1 team in the power rankings.
No. I'm sorry, Bill Simmons, but no.
I don't think so either. I'm not sure you can pin that all on Simmons, but the Rams are not the best or most, just because why? They just beat, let's see, their last 3 weeks were home beat Jacksonville 35-7, bye week, and then home beat New Orleans 34-10. Like, okay, sweet,
congratulations.
Before that, they won in Baltimore 17-3 when against a Baltimore team that didn't have Lamar. I mean, they've beaten some good teams. They beat Indianapolis, but they lost to Philadelphia on the road. They lost to San Francisco at home in overtime. I don't know, man. I think you can kind of trust the Rams if you look at their upcoming schedule. It's pretty tough. At San Francisco, home Seattle, home Tampa Bay, at Carolina, who I'm not going to say I trust Carolina.
No.
Carolina's in the playoff hunt right now. Do you realize that?
Yeah, so are the Jags.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. Carolina's 5-4, and they are basically tied for a wild card spot at this point.
Okay, here's who I trust. I trust the Chargers. They won 27-20 on the road at the Titans after throwing a pick six because Justin Herbert is slinging it. That dude is on fire.
Okay.
I trust the Colts still. Pittsburgh is a tough place to play. Mike Tomlin is a tough coach to play against. And they almost overcame 6 turnovers.
I think I agree with that. I do think that we're on Daniel Jones' watch.
I agree with you.
But other than that, I mean, that's the other thing. Every single team has their flaw, and it's not a small one. The Chargers, who you just mentioned, their left tackle might be out for a while. Joe Alt, who's one of the best left tackles, he's not replaceable. You're not putting in your backup left tackle behind Joe Alt and getting the same results. So that's a flaw. You can say New England, but New England just kind of snuck one out, and Drake May's taken a ton of hits. So you never know. You never know about is Drake May, how far away is he from getting hurt? Their receiving core is ish. I mean, you still got Stephon Diggs out there who's not playing 100% of the snaps. He's still kind of on a pitch count in a lot of these games. So Buffalo, you can say, well, okay, Buffalo's.
I definitely trust the Bills, and I definitely trust the Seahawks.
I've got to see a little less of them doing this Josh Allen game manager thing. He had a good game. He was good this game, but
just remember that Brett Favre, when he got his gunslinger mentality a little bit under control, became a better quarterback.
Fair. And I still have to see. They lost another guy on defense, one of their rotational guys on defense.
I think that's just going to be. I don't think we're seeing any additional injury issues that we don't always see in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
But it just feels like, because you and I are watching this a lot more closely, that the injuries are just piling up everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like the practice squads are being mined at this point. But I have the Seahawks, the Bills. I don't trust the Rams just yet.
You had Colts in there.
Colts, I definitely trust. And the teams that I'm going to bet against, if I get just enough value, Saints, Titans, Commanders from here on.
What about Philly? How do you feel about Philly?
I don't.
Now, they didn't play this week,
I don't
so
feel,
it's hard to.
I don't feel anything about Philly. I think they're good, but I don't think they're great.
Okay, that's fair.
So, anyway, let's take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll do our picks. And then in the final segment, we're going to talk about people that are canceled and what we do with their art. And just want to say, if you are not following us or not subscribed, to go to our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcast, or Spotify, and give us a follow or a like or make a comment, even if you just really hate us.
Follow us on all the social platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You will find us there under Bet Small, Lose Small. All right, we've got 4 teams on bye for Week 10. Your Cincinnati Bengals.
Thank God.
Dallas, Tennessee, and Kansas City. Dallas, who we didn't quite get to talk about Dallas.
Shit the bed versus the Cardinals.
What happened?
Got what they deserved. They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, I guess so. That just seemed like. I don't know how you lose that. I don't know how you lose that game at home. And we'll talk about the Cardinals in a minute. But the Cowboys responded by basically trading exactly what they got in the Micah Parsons trade for a defensive tackle from was it Quinnen Williams from the Jets. Basically traded the same. They basically traded Micah Parsons for Quinnen Williams. Make that make sense.
It makes no sense.
And they traded for a member of the Bengals defense to help improve their own defense, which might be the only place that you can go to get better places for the Cowboys defense.
This is Jera being Jera.
Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go through the games then. So we have those 4 teams on bye. First game of the week is Thursday night. The Las Vegas Raiders, quote-unquote, they are at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are favored by 8.5. They're minus 550 favorites to the Raiders plus 410 money line. Over-under is 42.5.
I obviously think the Broncos are going to win. I won't lay 8.5 with them against basically anybody. I will not take the Raiders plus 8.5, however. So
no, you can't do that.
Just to stay away.
There's 2 factors here. There's Geno. I should say 3 factors. There's Geno, the Denver defense, and Bo Nix. Whatever the hell that was that Bo Nix was doing. I texted you about this on Sunday afternoon. They put up a stat on the screen, unironically, comparing Bo Nix's first 20 starts to John Elway's 20 starts. Because we live in the exact same era where all the numbers are the same. And of course it made it look like Bo Nix is the better quarterback because he has more numbers because we just throw more now.
Okay, well, Terry Bradshaw is considered one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time, and his stats against Andy Dalton's look like shit.
Joe Namath threw for more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah, Joe Namath is known for being a good quarterback of his era.
Yeah.
He is statistically one of the worst quarterbacks to ever been famous.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But essentially the point is we're now on Bo Nix watch because he could soon be, I guess, better than John Elway, which, spoiler alert, he is not.
He is not.
I do like Broncos minus 550 in that.
I do. Well, of course.
Yeah.
Falcons at the Colts. The Colts are giving 6.5 after coming off a loss this week where they turned it over 6 times. The Falcons do not scare me one bit. I would probably lay the 6.5.
I think you're right. I don't think there's any way the Colts are going to go home after that game and let the Falcons come in and give them any kind of trouble.
The owner was on the sideline not long ago taking notes in like a notepad, so she probably has everything fixed.
We should mention one thing. This game is in Germany. Yeah.
Bet at your own risk.
Yeah. Here's my question. They play this game at 9:30 in the morning Eastern time.
Yeah.
That is 3:30 p.m. in Germany. Why do we have to have a football game at 9:30 in the morning? Why you can't do this at 8 o'clock in Germany so that it's at 1 o'clock in the U.S.?
Let me ask you this. This is probably an accidental design, but on the West Coast, this is 6:30 in the morning football. Okay.
Yeah.
So very few people on the West Coast. But if you're on the East Coast, especially if you're on the far East Coast where the sun comes up a little bit earlier, how much do you like having football at 9:30, 1 p.m., 4:30, and 8 on Sunday?
I mean, I'm not going to complain about it, I guess.
Plus, you go into another market. We've been asking the question, why do we take this game over there? We've gotten so much response from the UK. We had a TikTok that had 40,000 plus views, and basically it was about why do we send these teams overseas?
Right.
The 9:30 a.m. game for me is fantastic.
You like the 9:30.
I don't like betting it.
Okay.
But I like the fact that to wake up with football on Sunday morning.
You just want 19 straight hours.
Like if I were a Premier League fan, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I don't.
Is it good football over there? No. Is the playing service good? Also, no. A soccer pitch is not the same thing as a football field.
Well, now it might be a little bit different in Germany. Germany loves their American football. I think there's an actual German professional football league.
Well, let's hope.
So they have like crazy. From everything I understand, it's like the fans are crazy over there. But that's even more why I like having football all day. Sure, I do kind of question whether we're getting the best quality. Also, we're sending them the Falcons and Colts.
The Colts are good. I don't know.
Fine.
You need to come around this. The Colts are good.
I think the Colts are probably good.
Daniel Jones may not turn into a pumpkin this year. He doesn't get hit that much.
That's true. It's true. And the Falcons might be one of those, hey, keep an eye on them team, because they have played some. I mean, they played the Patriots tough. Not, they did pull it tight in more or less garbage time, but they beat the Bills.
That was a fluke.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's move on. Jacksonville is at Houston.
This would have been the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week in most weeks, but the Jags are a winning team, and Houston is okay, have one of the better defenses. Texans giving 1.5 at home. I don't know which way to go on this.
I don't either. This is a stay away from me.
Under 37.5.
Under 30. Well, and that's the other thing. Do we know? I don't think we know yet whether it's going to be Stroud or whether it's going to be C.J. Stroud or Davis Mills. If it's Davis Mills, I think you got to go under. But I don't know. I mean, both teams are minus 108 here. This is the modern day pick'em.
Yeah, it truly is a pick'em.
I'd just stay away from it. Giants at Bears. Bears are giving 4.5. They are minus 215 favorites to the Giants, plus 180. Over-under is 47.5. I think the Bears, you have to right the ship here.
I think the Bears win this. I'm willing to lay the 4.5. The over 47.5 seems high, but the Giants defense is not great, and the Bears defense I don't think is very good either.
Well, and the Bears just gave up 40-plus points to the Bengals. So, yeah, the over 47.5 might be in play.
Giving up a lot of points to the Bengals is not so bad, but the Bears, I saw a stat today where I think the Bears have scored at least 21 points in every single game this season.
That's amazing. It doesn't feel like a team that should be scoring 21 points a game.
Maybe it's 18, but I think it was 21.
It could be. I don't know. But there's never a point when I watch the Bears and I think, oh, this offense is,
I don't either.
I think they got it going.
But, I'm enjoying the Bears.
Okay. Ravens at Vikings.
I don't like this line at all. Ravens minus 4.5.
On the road.
On the road.
I don't get it.
If this line was 1.5, okay, I get it. But Baltimore they just beat a very bad team, and Lamar's back, and they weren't good before that.
I'm sitting here staring at this while you're talking. This is one of the weirdest lines of the year, I think. It's at 2.5. I would go 2.5. I mean, do we think? Okay, let's.
The Ravens were 2-5 before this game.
Neutral site. Everything. Take out every other factor. Which of these teams is better, top to bottom? I mean, starting with quarterback.
I mean, Lamar Jackson's one of the best 3 players in the entire league.
Okay.
When he's healthy and when he's right in his mind.
Yeah.
Is he either one of those things? I guess he's okay, but the Vikings have a winning record. The Ravens are 3-5 after they beat the Dolphins, who are hapless and hopeless.
Yeah. I don't understand this. I don't understand it.
I would be inclined to take the 4.5 and say thank you very much.
I mean, I'll take the Ravens minus 215. The minus 215 money line is interesting for a 4.5 point favorite.
Give me the 180. I think the Vikings win this.
Okay, it would not surprise me if the Vikings win this.
Moving on, the horrific Browns are at the 1-win Jets. This is the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week. Stay away.
It's not even a contest this week.
No,
between this
close.
And any other game. Like you mentioned Jags and Texans earlier.
Saints and Panthers.
Well, but the Panthers are in the playoff hunt now.
They are. I'm
know?
not saying that they are in the. This is maybe the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the year.
It's if you have money on this game in any capacity, and I'm saying this as a person who may or may not have the under in my picks, but if you have money on this game, you might not just have a problem, you might be a terrible person.
Wow.
Not really. I went a little hard at that.
If you go to an AA meeting, but I mean they have Gamblers Anonymous meetings too. But if you can't find one of those, there's an AA meeting near you. I promised.
Yeah.
Just go in and say, my name is so and so, and I am an alcoholic. But in your mind, know that you're saying I am a gambling alcoholic or gambling-aholic.
Yeah. I like the under. Saints.
We kid. Don't bet the rent money on game. Don't gamble your rent money.
I'm just telling you. Yeah. Please do not. Please do not.
We're being funny. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Addiction is real.
No.
We're not judging people that have addiction problems.
And we do the 1-800-GAMBLER line so that we can organically mention the 1-800-GAMBLER hotline.
That's true.
Yeah. Saints at Panthers. Panthers are favored by 5.5 points over a team.
Well, the Saints are so bad. Alvin Kamara he has one touchdown all year.
Is he in witness protection?
He's running up the middle for 14 yards in the last game. It's terrible. I don't know. Lay the 5.5. I'm serious. Lay the 5.5.
You really want to lay the 5.5 with this one?
I just think the Saints are that bad. I think the Panthers are okay. I'm not saying they're good.
Okay, it is at home. The over under is 39.5.
I went under. I've got that in one of my picks.
Okay. The Bills are at the Dolphins. The Bills are 9.5 point favorites on the road at the Dolphins.
That is not nearly enough.
I'm telling you.
As
a Bills fan who knows how these things go.
I know the Bills are weird against the Dolphins. Let's hear it. Go ahead and say it.
Listen, the Dolphins this week. Did you see what the Dolphins did? Now, we've been joking that Mike McDonald is like...
Mike McDaniel.
We've been joking that Mike McDaniel is... He's like a gallon of milk that like the expiration date was 2 days ago. He's like, it's just a matter of time. So the Dolphins, of course... After they won this weekend, they fired their general manager. They did this right before this weekend, I believe. Anyway, they fired their general manager, and they said,
as one does,
Mike McDaniel, we're going to keep you around at least through the end of the season, which is basically saying, you know what, we actually don't give a shit.
Right.
We got
Please
enough,
continue to coach our team.
We have enough to deal with trying to manage like who's going to take over GM responsibilities for the next 2 months. We don't need the headache of worrying about the coaching vacancy either. Like, you can stay on for a while. We will let you know. We got the papers. You'll just have to sign them at the end of the year, okay?
So they're going to let their new GM pick their new coach.
I know. It's like telling this guy, it's like, listen, we're not going to execute you tomorrow. We're going to wait until January.
Correct.
I guess look, 9.5 with this Bills team, you just got to be careful.
31-14.
Okay. Patriots at Buccaneers. I love this game.
Best game of the week.
Oh my goodness, I want to watch
except
every
for
minute of this
the Sunday night game or the Monday night game.
I want to watch every single second of this game. This is going to be the gunslingers' dream scenario here with Baker and Drake May. If
I have to bet this though, I'm over 48.5. That's the only bet I really feel comfortable making with it.
I agree with that because this is impossible to pick. Even though I may have taken the Patriots money line. Cardinals.
Why?
Because
you shouldn't bet this game, but I did.
Okay.
Our picks reflect this.
Here's my reasoning. Here's my reasoning. The Bucks have a tendency. They can't have the magic every week. All right. And Vrabel seems to kind of figure out a way to get things done. He's done a great job getting this team to 7-2. They're leading the AFC East. They're on the road, but it's not like they're going into bad weather or anything like that. I just think the Patriots are probably a slightly better team, and I think Drake May is probably a slightly better quarterback than Baker.
This is something. All right.
Yeah. So you'll see. Let's see. Cardinals at Seahawks. This is one of the 4:00 games on Sunday. Cardinals are getting 6.5 points.
I think 6.5 feels about right. I think Seattle is a touchdown better. I would be willing to lay the 6.5. I definitely have the Seahawks in a parlay.
It's interesting what's going on with the Arizona quarterback situation because, they keep saying that Kyler Murray is still hurt, but we've also heard that he's hurt. He's got this foot injury, but he's available to play if he has to, which to me means...
What does that mean?
We're not super excited about bringing him back because the offense looks better with Jacoby Brissett playing quarterback.
Well,
so I'm going to take those points. I'll just tell you that right now. Seattle had that huge win. Was it at Washington? Was that at Washington the other day?
Yes.
Okay.
Where they fucked up Jaden Daniels' arm.
Destroyed Jaden Daniels' left arm. I still think the Cardinals have a better offense and they'll be able to hang with the Seahawks a little bit better. Rams at 49ers. 49ers are plus 4.5 dog at home.
I don't like this line.
I'm taking the points. I think this is close. I think this is a closer game. I don't know who wins, but I think this is a closer game than 4.5.
I agree with you. The over-under is 49.5.
That seems too high.
I don't know.
That seems too high to me. This is the Rams outside on the road.
Okay, that's fair. And
in a stadium that is notorious for having terrible turf. The weather could be shitty. San Francisco this time of year it starts to get a little iffy.
Yeah.
I don't know that over under. If you're into picking those, I would go under that one. But I like the 49ers at plus 4.5. I think they can at least keep it close.
Detroit is at Washington. Washington's getting 8.5. Detroit laying 8.5. I think the Lions bounce back huge. I think they just put a beat down on the Commanders without Jaden Daniels. I think it's Marcus Mariota for them.
It is.
Mariota
for probably the rest of the season at this point.
He's interesting to watch because while he cannot always throw the ball super well, he does run it pretty well.
He's interesting at least. I mean, you don't ever really know what's going to happen next with him.
He's one of those guys that's like they'll make 4 or 5 great plays in a row, and then they'll do something so stupid, so monumentally dumb, so catastrophic that you're like,
yeah,
no.
Yep. He's short-term Sam Darnold.
Wow.
That was mean to
lay the 8.5.
I'll tell you this. I might not even lay the 8.5. I might bump that line up a little bit. What does Washington have left to play for at this point? Their defense stinks. They're the oldest team in the league. Their quarterback just exploded his left elbow. They're done. That team's got to be just demoralized, playing at home in their.
And the Lions really need a win here.
Yeah, the Lions do need to win. They need a win. They need to win about as bad as anybody in the league.
Pittsburgh goes to the Los Angeles Chargers.
God, this is a great game. This is the Sunday night game. Chargers laying 3-point favorites at home.
That feels about right.
Feels about right. They are minus 152 favorites to the Steelers plus 128. Over-under is 45.5, which feels like...
I don't know about the over-under there, but I definitely am on the Chargers on this. Money line pick.
Yeah.
Since the value is pretty decent.
I agree with that. I like the Chargers. If you're picking this game, I would go Chargers money line.
And the best game of the week is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers, Monday Night Football in Lambeau Field.
It's possibly the most important game of the week because it's two of the NFC heavyweights in a conference that is really shaken out like it's going to have a lot of 11-6, 10-7 teams. You know, Eagles are getting 2.5 points at Lambeau. I said earlier I've had quite enough of the Packers, and I want to watch this game. I don't want to bet anything on it at all. I don't trust the Packers.
So would you just take the Eagles money line since it's only 2.5?
I think you mean the Eagles points, take the Eagles in the points,
or the Eagles and just take the money line? You just think they're going to win outright?
Well, see, I don't know if I trust that. I would move that line. I would move that line maybe up to like 3.5 or something.
Yeah, we haven't done any alternate lines on our picks in a little while.
Yeah, it's been I had an alternate line. I think I moved the Rams down some last week and hit that, but it turned out I didn't need to. But there might be an alternate line in here. Do you want to go through the picks now that we've done the games?
Those are the games, and here are the picks.
Okay. I've got 2 money line parlays, and I've got 4 individual straight bets.
I've got 4 parlays, and we're doing 25 pesos each on them. But
Okay.
I'll start.
You go ahead and start.
The New Orleans Saints come to the Panthers, and I'm doing the Panthers money line and under 39.5. I think the Saints put up less than 10 points.
Okay. And what'd you get for that?
I've got plus 165 on that, a same game parlay.
Okay. That's pretty nice.
25 pesos.
I like that. Okay. I have a 3-team parlay. This is the safe bet of the week. I've got Denver minus 550. They are in Germany. I'm sorry, they're Thursday night with the Raiders coming to town. I've got Buffalo minus 500 over Miami, and I've got Seattle minus 310. That gets me to minus 113 total, and I'm putting 30 on that.
All right. I like that. I've got those 3 exact same teams.
Really? Okay.
Plus, I've got the Colts minus 300 and the Bears minus 215 and a 5-legger at plus 268 for 25 pesos. So it's Denver minus 550, Colts minus 300, Bills minus 480, Bears minus 215, and the Seahawks minus 310.
That's good. We try to do this with the bigger parlays. Who messes that up? Who's the one that screws the pooch on
the
that
Bears?
One? It's got to be the Bears, right?
Yep.
Probably not going to be Indy. Probably not Buffalo or Denver.
Well, I think Denver is going to win huge. I think Buffalo is going to win huge. I think Indy's looking for a bounce back. They won't turn it over 6 times again. And I think the Seahawks are a touchdown better than the Cardinals, so it's going to be the Bears.
The Bears are not trustworthy enough yet.
No, they're not.
Okay. My next one, I've got two. I'm taking 2 teams with the points. I'm taking Arizona plus 6.5, and I'm taking the 49ers plus 4.5, and I'm parlaying those for a plus 272 parlay. I'm putting 30 pesos on that one.
The 49ers pick is intriguing, and I don't blame you for it, not one bit.
It's not that I think they'll win, but Rams coming to San Francisco and giving them 4.5 feels like good value.
I wish I could trust the Vikings enough to bet them, but I've got a 2-leg parlay. It's Bills and Seattle. This is not even a double your money. Minus 480 and minus 310. That comes to minus 168, and that's 25 pesos on that.
That's okay. A minus 168, you're still going to make some money on that. You're still going to make like 15 of your 20. You're gonna bring that up to. You're gonna get
down so many though.
You're gonna get paid. You're gonna get a total payout of 40.
Okay.
So that gets you halfway through the week. I mean, so you got to chip away. Man. All right, I'm going to go through my individual picks. I've got these individual straight bets. We talked about taking an alt line here and there. I've got Detroit at an alternate line of minus 9.5. I'm moving them just a hair from minus 8.5. because it gets me to plus 102. And I'm putting 10 on that. 10 pesos. I'm taking the Bears minus 4.5 because I don't think that they. I think they can outpace the Giants pretty easily at home. I'm putting 10 on that. I'm taking New England money line plus 120 over the Buccaneers for all the reasons I said before. I think Vrabel I think he'll have a plan for them. And I'm doing it, Lanny. I'm jumping in on the 1-800-GAMBLER game of the week.
What?
Jets, Cleveland, under 37.5.
Wow.
For minus 105. I'm putting 10 on it. The Jets traded away basically any defensive player worth of any value. They stink. We're gonna. I mean, you did a little takedown of the Raiders last week, which was a team that
that was a couple weeks ago.
That was a couple weeks. Their fan base irked you just a little bit, and you were like, "Yeah, but y'all don't realize you suck." I hate the Jets. I've always hated the Jets as a Bills fan, and I am going to. I'm going to do a little takedown of the Jets because they're restarting this franchise, they're restarting this roster for some reason, and trading away these guys. And I realize they got a lot of picks and everything, but they just had a lot of picks like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
and they are where they are right now. So I'm like, guys, it's the same. Like, you're doing the same thing that you did 5 years ago. So, and there's a reason for that, historically speaking. So we'll get a little bit into that next week.
16 years, no playoffs for the Jets.
16 years, no playoffs.
All right, my last pick is a rehash of other picks. This is Denver minus 550, Colts minus 300, Bears minus 215, and the team that will mess that up is the Bears.
You said Denver, Indy,
Chicago, and that is plus 130.
Okay. Yeah, it's the Bears are the Bears are the bugaboo this week if we have one to point at, because we can't trust them. But you got a lot of trustworthy teams in these picks.
We'll see.
I like them. Okay.
We'll see.
All right, those are the Week 10 picks. We have not canceled the contest just yet, despite the
no coming back.
Despite the pleas from the Brannick camp over here. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk about how to get canceled.
Yeah. So the other day I am flipping through the TV, and it just happened to be like, I think it was like a Saturday afternoon. And so, on Saturday afternoon, you've got a variety of things on. And if you have a cable or a streaming package now, you've got a variety of things on anyway.
Yeah.
So Seinfeld was one of the shows that was on.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a movie that had Kevin Spacey in a bit part. It might have been The Usual Suspects or Seven. I watch Seven anytime it's on. And then maybe Signs was on, Mel Gibson. And I'm just like, every one of those people have every one of those shows either have a star or a bit player that has been canceled for good reason.
This is true. Yeah.
Seinfeld, Michael Richards stood up in front of a crowd and let loose a flurry of inward slurs.
One of the most bizarre displays of
bizarre
meltdown that I've ever seen from a comedian, especially or a star of his stature to begin with.
Let's not gloss over the fact that Jerry Seinfeld was dating like an 18 or 19-year-old child,
right,
back when he was in his mid-30s at the height of his powers.
I heard something the other day too, that there was someone who had an investment, who had a financial stake in Seinfeld, that I can't remember who it was right now. I might have to text Erin about it and ask her, but there was somebody that I went, oh, that guy had money in Seinfeld. Like it wasn't good. It wasn't like, David Duke or something like that, but it was pretty bad, this guy. So, Yeah, they've all had. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and then if you think about some of the shows that have been popular from in the last 30 to 40 years in the Gen X era, Roseanne has been properly canceled. Roseanne Barr.
Mm-hmm.
She's a racist and an anti-Semite. Danny Masterson of that 70s show is in prison for the next 25 to 30 years. Most of his life thrown away. Bill Cosby, need I say more?
Oof, yeah. That's one Aaron struggles with.
Right, like that show is fun to watch still.
Yeah.
And it was at a time when for me anyway, where I felt safe and like, the world was an okay place.
Right.
Even though it was the Reagan era.
Right. Okay.
Mel Gibson, violent, bigot, and anti-Semite.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
in some of the movies like that you really like, Lethal Weapon's been on a lot lately.
Uh-huh.
Braveheart. I know this is going to stick in your craw a little bit.
Yeah, I will respond appropriately to your disparagement of Braveheart.
So I asked my wife earlier. I was like, "Can you separate the art from the artist?" And she didn't take it the way I meant it. But I'll just ask you.
Okay.
Can you separate the art from the artist when you know that the artist is a vile bigot or an anti-Semite like Kanye West? You are a hip hop and rap fan. I'm not. I've never liked either one of those genres.
Right.
But you do, a white guy from Western New York.
Well, let's say this first of all. Shout out to our brothers at the Soapbox Lex podcast, because they actually did an episode.
Unbeknownst to me.
I when you were mentioning this afternoon, I was like, huh. We have to shout out Soapbox. They actually did a pay it forward thing like we did. So we've both been busy this week, and we're very tired and recording on Wednesday. So we're getting lazy. Yeah, that's right. Can I separate the art from the artist? The short answer to that is yes. The more complicated answer is, tell me who it is.
Well, that's the other problem that I have is like, it depends on how much I like the art.
Sure. Yeah.
Will I still watch Lethal Weapon if it's on? I'm not turning it off because it's Mel Gibson.
Right.
Even though I think Mel Gibson is a vile human being.
Right. We'll get into this. Okay. First of all, Braveheart is one of like my 10 favorite movies of all time. I don't know how many times me and my college roommate, my sophomore year of high school, fell asleep to that movie playing on the VCR in the dorm room. I'm offended that you would even consider not watching Braveheart.
Braveheart is one of those. Braveheart is one of those movies. This is a total side. We're going down a side road here, but Braveheart's one of those movies. Like 300, where I don't care to go through the journey.
Sure. Yeah. That's
like,
yes.
I know how it ends.
Yep. Every time. You know exactly what's coming.
Freedom!
Yep. You know it's coming, and you're just waiting for it so you can go, yes.
Yeah.
And so yeah, in a case like that, you mentioned Kanye. I think he's the author of four of the greatest hip hop albums of this century. I think he doesn't get enough credit for his art. I think he doesn't get enough credit for the amount of influence that he's had in music, which his influence has filtered down not through just hip hop, but through pop and through country. And I think he is one of the most disgusting people I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely.
He's a lunatic. He's a crazy person. He's said things that I not only disagree with, but vehemently oppose.
Yes.
On many different fronts. And we're not just talking about the obvious things. There's a lot of things that he's done that I don't agree with. But I will still put on Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, one of his greatest albums, possibly his best work, I would say. And I will bang that thing out all the way through without even thinking about it. Mel Gibson, you know, I'll watch Braveheart. I still think Signs is a great movie. I don't even think twice about the Michael Richards thing, which is probably more of a reflection. Might be more of a reflection on me.
It happened a long time ago.
It did, and it was also well after the Seinfeld era.
Sure.
That's another part of this.
He didn't cancel himself until way after the fact.
Right. And that's the interesting thing with Kanye, because I know he's done good work. He kind of had a meltdown right around the era, the period of time that surrounded like the Yeezus album, which I think is his fourth greatest work. And after that, there's not a lot of stuff that I get into of his. So that there's that too. You know, the Cosby Show is a tough watch, and that was like one of Erin's favorite shows when she was growing up. Probably a lot of people our age was one of their favorite shows too. It's not on TV anymore. Like, go try to find the Cosby Show.
It's not, you cannot find it.
It's nowhere.
Same for anything that's O.J. Simpson is in.
Yeah.
Like the Naked, they're re-releasing, or not re-releasing. They're doing a new Naked Gun series with Liam Neeson in the title role.
Yeah.
But
they addressed it though. There's a great scene in that where they kind of addressed it.
But the Naked Gun is not on HBO. It's not on Showtime. No. I mean, you might find it on Prime or something, but
yeah, you have to buy it. You have to pay for it someplace to watch it.
But like that's. Yeah. Some of these guys have really tainted some great work though. Like Kevin Spacey, American Beauty is a fantastic movie. The Usual Suspects is a fantastic movie. I really liked House of Cards.
Yeah.
That's hard to nobody's got that out now. Maybe.
Well, it's still on. You can still find it on Netflix. But look at how fast. Look how quickly they like stopped on a dime and changed directions with that show. 4 seasons into what was probably going to be a 6-season series. After season 4 and all the scandal came out about his sexual deviance issues, his sexual harassment issues. They just were like, we have to continue down this. We have to continue the show without you, and they just said, well, we're just going to do. We're just going to make. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen this show that was out pre-pandemic at this point, they just said, Robin Wright, it's your show now, and that was it. And they just did 6 episodes.
Yeah,
and they were like,
season.
Okay, we're good. Wash our hands of that shit. I don't have. I would say in most cases, I don't have much of a problem separating the art from the artist.
I am with you, and I'm kind of mad at myself for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do I want people to get residual checks because I watched their art after they show themselves to be awful human beings?
This is true. Yeah, that's a good
point. Like, I'm a big vote with your wallet kind of guy. And I will do that. Even local businesses here. There are local businesses where we live, as your microphone fails. There are local businesses where we live that are run by people that have views that I'm just not only don't agree with, just actually oppose.
Yeah.
And I've recently just said, I'm not going to go there anymore.
Yeah. It's a little bit, I think it's a little different maybe with political views, depending on how extreme the political views are. I do see your point, though.
But I think that's kind of where we are. It's not because we wanted to be there, but because we've been pushed there.
The argument that I will make is, and I've made this, actually had this conversation with Eric Green not long ago from the Soapbox Lex podcast. I was like, this is the same thing as saying, like, okay, I don't go and eat a Chick-fil-A because they have certain views about religion and they have certain views about LGBTQ people and they have, all these different, conservative values. There's a lot of people who won't eat a Chick-fil-A because of that, or for one of those reasons. But if you dig deep enough into any business, for example, you're going to find some kind of something that's offensive. Either they're using, they're using bad practices in like where they get their products, or there's they're getting cheap labor in some country that is guilty of human atrocities or something like that.
The clothing that we have
we're probably wearing clothing that's made under some pretty suspicious circumstances by Amazon and whatever.
Well, two of I really don't like to shop there, but I do go shop there. The store that starts with a W and ends with a T and has Almar in between. I don't really shop there, but that franchise and McDonald's are two of the biggest users. Their employees are two of the biggest users of federal assistance.
Mm-hmm.
That is
statistically true.
Offensive.
Yeah.
That's offensive to me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just to expand on that point, though, my argument was if you dig deep enough, you're going to find something wrong with every company to the point where
certainly.
You might as well just grow your own food and make your own clothes because you're going to find something. So it's like you can take a stand with your wallet. I have no issue with people doing that, especially when there are worse offenders than others. But I think at some point, you have to go, all right, this thing that I enjoy, on a selfish level, I enjoy it more than I am going to hold it against the person that created it. Because there are a lot of things that have been created for this world that are very good things, and ultimately you dig into the people that created them, and you can find some pretty seedy histories behind them.
Every Harvey Weinstein movie.
So many movies. You know how many times I cringe? How many times me and Aaron cringe when we're watching an earlier Tarantino movie, and the Weinstein Company comes up with that logo? It's like, oh, I forgot about that. And you know how long I remember? I think about it. As long as that logo is on the TV, and then I enjoy the hell out of Inglourious Bastards.
Yes, this is the trouble that we face.
Yeah,
I will say this: if you want to do some good, who stood up to Harvey Weinstein and really had her career killed off was Ashley Judd, Kentucky's own Ashley Judd. Mm-hmm. Basically, told Harvey Weinstein to go pound sand, and she wasn't going to do what he'd asked. So if you want to go see a film that stars Ashley Judd, just know that you're going in the right direction.
You're on the good side.
You're on the right side of history with
Plus, you're supporting Big Blue Nation, which we can get behind.
We are definitely behind that class celebration of 1998.
Right. Yeah, Kentucky.
But I thought it was an interesting discussion. I'm sorry, Soapbox Lex, that we ripped you off again.
They did it much better, and they did it for a lot longer.
Hey,
we did the nutshell version.
That's okay. So find your local artist, find your local business that you like, support them.
Yeah,
I would always say that. You owned a bar for some period of time, and I got to know some of those artists.
Yeah.
And while I don't agree with all of their political views, I really like watching them perform. I will say that.
Some of the greatest country and Southern rock talent in the country
came through Georgetown,
Kentucky at one point or another. So, and yeah, look, we owned a bar with a business partner who we didn't always agree with on many things.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Sometimes Aaron a lot less than me. But this is where it's like, well, maybe, sometimes we can talk these things out and get to some common ground on some of our viewpoints, and sometimes you can't. And you know what? Sometimes you want to just listen to a fucking Kanye album.
So I'll tell you this,
or watch Braveheart.
I had this happen to me the other day on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote something on social media, and I wasn't going to tell this story, but now that we've got.
Did we peel the top off the can?
I don't know, but it just makes me laugh.
Is there worms out now? Okay.
It just makes me laugh now. You're talking about different points of view. I said something on social media. It's not worth repeating what I said. And a guy comes on that I've known for a long time,
mm-hmm.
and he says in my thread, "Why don't you just shut the fuck up?"
I've wondered that about you for many years, Lanny.
And I was just like, I would have been offended, except I was just like, please, or no, thank you for showing people who you are. Thank you for showing people exactly who you are.
I mean, it's a fair question. Why don't you shut?
Why don't I shut the fuck up? Maybe I will now. We'll just land.
Yeah,
you said I couldn't use the term "land this plane" earlier because we literally had a plane crash in Louisville. Bad.
Yeah, bad one.
Bad plane crash.
Not far from where my daughter goes to college. So yeah.
But we'll get off this boat since we haven't had any boat sinkings, and we will wrap up this week. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, any of those platforms, I'll try again. YouTube, Spotify, TikTok,
Apple Podcasts,
Instagram, Facebook. Go follow us.
We're punchy today. TikTok, go there too. See you next week, folks.